Thousands of years ago, when the earth was colder and covered in forests and mist, the island we now call Britain was home to small groups of hunter-gatherers. They lived in caves and near rivers, depending on the land and sea for survival. As the climate warmed, these early people began farming and forming small villages, turning the wild landscape into a home. Around 2500 BC, they built one of the most mysterious monuments in the world, Stonehenge. Huge stones were dragged across miles of land without machines, placed in perfect circles aligned with the sun. Historians still wonder if it was a temple, a calendar, or a burial site. But one thing is certain: it symbolized the birth of a civilization that was deeply spiritual, intelligent, and connected to nature. The roots of British identity began to form here in stone, soil, and sky. In 43 AD, the powerful Roman Empire invaded Britain under Emperor Claudius. Their armies, trained and disciplined, marched across the land, bringing roads, bridges, and cities. They built Hadrian's Wall in the north to protect their new province, Britannia, from northern tribes. Under Roman rule, trade flourished. Wines, pottery, and spices came from across Europe. They built bathhouses, temples, and arenas that brought new culture and comfort. Latin words began to mix with local tongues, and written laws replaced tribal customs. Yet not everyone accepted Roman rule. Rebellions like that of Queen Boudica showed the fierce spirit of the native Britons. When Rome began to weaken in the 4th century, its legions withdrew, leaving behind magnificent ruins and a legacy that would echo for centuries. After the Romans left, Britain stood vulnerable. From across the North Sea came new settlers, the Angles, Saxons, and Jutes, from present-day Germany and Denmark. They built small kingdoms like Wessex, Mercia, and Northumbria. Life revolved around farming, faith, and warfare. Wooden halls replaced Roman stone buildings, and a new language, Old English, began to grow. Christianity soon spread through missionaries like St. Augustine, changing the island's beliefs and culture. Beautiful monasteries rose, filled with scholars and artists who created illuminated manuscripts. This was a time of rebirth after chaos, when courage, wisdom, and storytelling gave rise to the first English identity. Legends like Beowulf reflected the values of bravery and honor that shaped early England's soul. In the late 700s, a new threat came from the icy north, the Vikings. Fierce warriors in dragon-headed ships raided coastal villages, burning and plundering. Their attacks brought fear but also change. Many Vikings settled, traded, and built communities, marrying locals and shaping a new culture. The city of York became their stronghold, filled with craftsmen, farmers, and traders. Over time, peace and cooperation replaced bloodshed. The Saxon king Alfred the Great fought bravely to unite the land, defending it with wisdom and strength. He introduced schools, laws, and learning, earning the title, the Father of England. The blending of Viking energy and Saxon discipline created a stronger kingdom that stood ready to enter a new age. The year 1066 changed Britain forever. William, Duke of Normandy, invaded England and defeated King Harold at the Battle of Hastings. This victory brought French-speaking nobles who introduced castles, cathedrals, and a powerful feudal system. The English language absorbed French words, transforming forever. The Normans recorded every inch of land in the Domesday Book, one of history's first great surveys. Under their rule, architecture soared to new heights. Stone replaced wood, and society became more organized. Yet life for peasants remained hard, tied to the land they worked. The Norman era blended two cultures into one, laying the foundation for a strong, unified kingdom that would soon become a world power. The Middle Ages were a time of knights, kings, and faith. Grand castles guarded the countryside, and the church ruled over hearts and minds. But power began to shift. In 1215, angry barons forced King John to sign the Magna Carta, a document that limited royal authority and gave citizens basic rights. It became a symbol of freedom and justice, inspiring democracies for centuries. Still, life was not easy. The Black Death killed millions, peasants rebelled against harsh taxes, and wars raged with France. Yet, through the darkness came light. Universities like Oxford and Cambridge were founded, bringing education, science, and reason. England began to move from medieval superstition toward the modern world. The Tudors brought change and glory. Henry VIII, strong and ambitious, broke away from the Catholic Church to form the Church of England, reshaping religion forever. His daughter Elizabeth I became one of the greatest monarchs in history. Under her reign, England defeated the Spanish Armada, expanded its trade, and saw the rise of drama and literature. The world of William Shakespeare gave voice to the English spirit, creative, emotional, and proud. Exploration flourished as English ships reached Africa, Asia, and the New World. It was a golden age of courage, learning, and national pride, the dawn of the British Empire. The 17th century was a time of conflict between king and people. Charles III believed in divine rule, while Parliament demanded power. The disagreement led to a brutal civil war between royalists and parliamentarians led by Oliver Cromwell. Cities burned, families divided, and the king was executed, a shocking event that proved even a monarch could fall. For a short time, England became a republic, but monarchy was restored under Charles II. Still, the war changed everything. The idea of constitutional government where rulers answer to the law became part of British identity. Freedom, representation, and balance of power were born out of blood and revolution. In 1707, England and Scotland united to form Great Britain. Later, Ireland joined in 1801, creating the United Kingdom. Together they built one of the greatest empires the world had ever seen. British ships sailed across oceans carrying goods, ideas, and influence to every continent. London became the center of global power, a city of science, literature, and innovation. But the empire's rise also brought moral questions. Slavery, colonization, and inequality challenged the nation's conscience. Still, Britain's ability to adapt, govern, and connect cultures laid the foundation for a modern global society. The 18th and 19th centuries turned Britain into a powerhouse of invention. Steam engines, textile mills, railways, and coal mines transformed life forever. People moved from villages to crowded cities seeking work in factories. Smoke filled the skies, and machines roared day and night. It was a time of progress and pain of wealth for some and hardship for many. Yet it also produced great thinkers and reformers who improved education, labor rights, and health. Britain became known as the workshop of the world, leading humanity into a new age of industry and modernity that changed how people lived, worked, and dreamed. The 20th century tested Britain like never before. 2 world wars brought destruction and courage. Soldiers fought across Europe, Asia, and Africa, while citizens at home endured bombings and loss. Winston Churchill's voice inspired hope during the darkest nights of World War II. After victory came a new challenge: rebuilding a nation. The British Empire slowly dissolved as countries gained independence, but Britain found strength in cooperation and peace. The creation of the National Health Service, social reforms, and scientific discoveries led to a fairer and healthier society. Britain reinvented itself as a modern democracy and a voice for freedom in a changing world. Modern Britain stands as a bridge between history and the future. It is made up of 4 nations: England, Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland, each proud of its culture, but united under one crown and parliament. London remains a symbol of diversity, creativity, and influence. From Shakespeare to the Beatles, from Newton to modern AI, Britain's contribution to art, science, and politics continues to shape the planet. Though its empire has faded, its ideas of democracy, fairness, and innovation still inspire millions. The journey from ancient stones to skyscrapers tells one truth: the United Kingdom may be small in size, but its legacy is larger than history itself.